Barbra Streisand was born on April 24, 1942, in Brooklyn, New York. She's one of the most famous and important entertainers in modern history. Her life story shows determination, strength, and amazing talent. She grew up in a working-class Jewish family and faced tough times early on. Her father died when she was only 15 months old, which meant her mother had to raise her and her older brother Sheldon with very little money. Even though things were hard, young Barbra was smart, loved stories, and had an incredible singing voice that would one day make her famous. From when she was very young, Streisand was a dreamer who marched to her own beat. When she went to Erasmus Hall High School in Brooklyn, people didn't think she was pretty by Hollywood's beauty standards back then, and she was shy and awkward, which made her different from other kids. But her talent was amazing. She joined the school choir, and her powerful and unique soprano voice got everyone's attention right away. Deep down, she knew she was meant for something bigger than an ordinary life, and she chased her dreams with incredible passion even when people around her didn't think she could make it in such a tough business. Her career started in the early 1960s when she began singing in small nightclubs and cabarets in New York City. What made her different from all the other young singers trying to make it wasn't just her amazing voice, but also the way she performed on stage. She had a special energy that drew people to her. In 1962, she made her Broadway debut in the musical I Can Get It For You Wholesale, getting rave reviews and quickly becoming a rising star. Just 2 years later, she got the lead role of Fanny Brice in Funny Girl, a performance that was her big breakthrough and made her both a Broadway legend and a household name. Her performance of People from the show is still one of her most famous songs today. Her rise to fame was incredibly fast, starting with her performances in small nightclubs in New York during the early 1960s. It was there that audiences first noticed her remarkable voice, which could easily move from soft and delicate to powerful and dramatic. Soon she was appearing on national TV shows like The Tonight Show and The Ed Sullivan Show, capturing the attention of viewers across the country who were amazed by her unique singing style and magnetic presence. Streisand's talents weren't just for the stage. She quickly moved into recording music, releasing her first album, the Barbra Streisand Album, in 1963, which won her 2 Grammy Awards, including Album of the Year. This incredible achievement was the start of a recording career that has lasted more than 60 years, with Streisand becoming one of the best-selling female artists ever, selling more than 150 million records around the world. She has won 10 Grammy Awards, including a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award and a Grammy Legend Award, making her place in music history permanent. Her move into movies was equally groundbreaking. Streisand played Fanny Brice again in the 1968 movie version of Funny Girl, winning her first Academy Award for Best Actress. This was just the beginning of her movie career, which showed how versatile she was as both an actress and a director. She starred in famous films like Hello, Dolly, The Way We Were, A Star Is Born, and Yentl. For Yentl, she also co-wrote, produced, and directed it, making her the first woman in Hollywood history to have all those jobs on a major studio film. Her work on Yentl not only won her a Golden Globe for Best Director, but also opened doors for other women in Hollywood to work behind the camera. In 1991, Barbra Streisand, already known as one of the most celebrated and versatile entertainers of the 20th century, reached another big milestone in her extraordinary career with the release of Just for the Record. This huge 4-disc collection wasn't just a bunch of her greatest hits. It was a personal journey through all her artistry. The set included not only the classic songs that had made her a powerhouse singer, but also rare live performances, behind-the-scenes moments, and previously unreleased material that gave her fans a look into the depth of her creative world. For many listeners, Just for the Record felt like a time capsule of her career up to that point, letting both longtime fans and new generations appreciate the huge range of her voice and how timeless her music is. The compilation became more than an album. It stood as proof of Streisand's unmatched ability to blend emotion, technical brilliance, and storytelling into a body of work that continues to touch people decades later. Despite her dominance in the music world, Streisand's talents had always gone far beyond singing. After an 8-year break from acting, a break that only made people more excited for her return, she came back to the big screen in 2004 with the blockbuster comedy Meet the Fockers. Her role as Roz Focker, the eccentric, free-spirited mother, showed not only her comedy skills but also her natural warmth and charm, reminding audiences why she had long been one of Hollywood's most popular and beloved stars. The film's success quickly led to her playing the role again in its sequels, Meet the Parents and Little Fockers. Each movie proved her ability to connect effortlessly with modern audiences while bringing her signature charisma to every scene. Streisand's return to acting was more than a comeback. It was proof of her lasting versatility, a reminder that she could command a concert stage with the same brilliance that she lit up the movie screen. Her career, however, has never been limited. And in 2012, she once again captured the world's attention when she started her Barbra Live tour. One of the highlights of this tour was her unforgettable 3-hour performance at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, a homecoming that meant a lot to her fans. The evening was more than just a concert. It was an event, a celebration of her life's work, and a demonstration of her still unmatched vocal power and stamina. Streisand's song list moved smoothly from beloved classics to deeply personal songs, weaving together a story that kept the audience mesmerized from beginning to end. The importance of the night was highlighted by the presence of a star-studded audience, including cultural icons like Woody Allen, Michael Douglas, Donna Karan, and Ralph Lauren, who all came to witness the magic of Barbra Live. Barbra Streisand's personal life, like her career, has often drawn a lot of public attention, especially her marriages. She has been married twice, with both marriages involving men who are also part of the entertainment industry, showing her close ties to Hollywood, not just professionally but personally as well. Her first marriage was to actor Elliott Gould, a fellow performer who at the time was gaining recognition for his work on stage and in film. Streisand and Gould married on September 13, 1963, during the early years of her rise to stardom. This was a particularly busy time in her life, as she was transitioning from being a young singer performing in nightclubs and on Broadway into becoming a household name in music and film. Their marriage brought together two ambitious and talented people, both dealing with the challenges of careers in the spotlight. However, as with many relationships in Hollywood, the pressures of fame, demanding schedules, and the complexities of personal growth eventually created problems. On February 12, 1969, after nearly 6 years together, they publicly announced their separation, a decision that got a lot of media attention because Streisand was already one of the most famous entertainers in the world. Their divorce was finalized on July 6, 1971, officially ending their marriage. Despite the end of their romantic relationship, they shared a lasting connection through their only child, Jason Gould. Jason grew up surrounded by the influence of two successful parents and later found his own way in the arts. In a particularly memorable and touching moment in Streisand's career, Jason even appeared alongside her as her on-screen son in the acclaimed 1991 film, The Prince of Tides. This casting added a deeply personal touch to the movie, blurring the lines between Streisand's real life and her artistic expression and further cementing her reputation as an artist unafraid to bring personal meaning into her professional work. After many years of focusing on her career and raising her son, Streisand eventually found love again with actor James Brolin, an accomplished performer in his own right, best known for his film and television roles and his commanding on-screen presence. The two married on July 1, 1998, in a ceremony that captured the imagination of fans and the media alike as it marked the union of two beloved Hollywood figures, both of whom had long and distinguished careers. Unlike her first marriage, Streisand and Brolin's relationship was formed later in life after both had already experienced the highs and lows of marriage, parenthood, and public life. Their partnership has often been described as warm, stable, and deeply supportive, with each partner showing admiration for the other's career achievements and personal strengths. Although the couple has no children together, their marriage brought Streisand into a blended family dynamic as Brolin is the father of 3 children from previous relationships. From his first marriage, he has 2 sons, including Josh Brolin, who followed in his father's footsteps to become a highly respected actor known for his versatile roles in both blockbuster films and serious dramas. From his second marriage, Brolin also has a daughter, further extending the family circle that Streisand became a part of after their marriage. For Streisand, who has often spoken about the importance of family and close relationships, this marriage not only gave her a devoted life partner but also connected her to a wider family network, enriching her personal life beyond her extraordinary professional accomplishments. At 83 years old, Barbra Streisand has lived a life filled with triumphs, challenges, and countless unforgettable moments. But until recently, she had stayed noticeably quiet when it came to one of her most iconic on-screen partners, Robert Redford. Their legendary collaboration in the 1973 film, The Way We Were, is often remembered as one of Hollywood's most romantic and emotionally powerful pairings. Yet, for decades, Streisand avoided giving too many personal details about what it was really like working so closely with Redford. Now, for the first time, she has opened up, offering rare and honest reflections about their time together, their dynamic as co-stars, and the deep impact he left on her life and career. When asked about Redford, Streisand didn't hold back her admiration. "Robert was everything you hoped he would be," she said warmly. "He was beautiful inside and out, and he carried himself with a quiet dignity that made everyone around him want to rise to the occasion." Her words show not just respect for his craft, but also a deep appreciation for the kind of man he was behind the camera. Streisand noted that while Hollywood is filled with big egos and competition, Redford stood apart as someone who didn't need to throw his weight around or draw unnecessary attention to himself. He never had to announce his presence. He simply was, and that was enough, she reflected. Streisand also acknowledged the subtle tension of working alongside a co-star who had such effortless charm. "He had this golden glow about him," she confessed. "And I was always aware of how audiences looked at him, how much they adored him. But he never let that get in the way of our work together. He gave me the space to be myself, to explore my character, and to bring out the vulnerability that the role required." These words highlight not only her admiration but also the sense of gratitude she carried for Redford's generosity as a collaborator. For Streisand, it wasn't just about sharing the screen. It was about creating something honest and timeless together. She admitted that their chemistry was undeniable, though it came with its own set of challenges. "We were very different people," Streisand explained. "I was emotional, expressive, sometimes too direct for my own good. Robert was controlled, measured, and always seemed to have a calmness I could never quite master. And maybe that's why it worked. Our differences became part of the story, part of what made the relationship between our characters so believable." Fans have long wondered whether the passion they saw on screen extended off camera, but Streisand was careful to separate fact from fantasy. Still, her words carried an unmistakable tenderness, suggesting that her memories of him remain vivid and cherished even now. Streisand also acknowledged how "the way we were" changed the direction of her career. "That film gave me something I had never had before. A chance to play a real complicated woman in love with a man she could never truly hold on to," she said. "It was heartbreaking, but it was also honest. And Robert gave me the perfect partner for that story. Without him, I don't think the film would have meant as much to people. He grounded it, and he gave it a truth that made every scene resonate." Even today, more than 50 years later, Streisand finds herself moved by the film and its legacy. "Every time I see clips, I'm struck by how young we were," she said with a soft laugh. "But I also see the depth in his eyes, the unspoken things he brought to the role. And it reminds me of why people still talk about that movie. It wasn't just a love story. It was our story, even if only for those moments on screen."